This is Alex. He has decided that he will become an elite surgeon. And this is Mark. He has decided to be a regular patrol officer. Many are convinced that Alex will become a wealthy success story, while Mark will end up just another ordinary, battered cop. But reality is about to confront them with major challenges, and 10 years from now, a great deal could change. Year 1. Alex graduates from high school with honors and enrolls in a prestigious medical university. This is the elite. True, he doesn't have wealthy parents, but banks are more than happy to approve a student loan of $200,000 at 8% annual interest for a future doctor. To Alex, this is a trivial matter. After all, his future surgeon's salary will cover it all. He throws himself completely into his studies, cramming Latin for 16 hours a day. His pocket money consists of mere scraps from a part-time job as a night orderly, barely enough to cover his rent for a room and some cheap coffee. Alex is physically exhausted, but the thought of a magnificent future keeps his spirits high. Meanwhile, 19-year-old Mark decides to skip higher education and heads straight for the police academy. The training lasts only 6 months. It is free of charge, and the state even provides him with a uniform and rations. 6 months later, Mark hits the streets on patrol with a starting salary of $45,000 a year. He buys an old used car, rents the cheapest studio apartment he can find on the outskirts of town, and immediately opens a retirement savings account, into which he deposits a modest 15% of every paycheck. By the end of year 2, Alex has aced a series of grueling medical exams. He is one step closer to his dream. Yes, thanks to compounding interest, his debt has quietly ballooned by another $22,000. But Alex isn't worried. His professors have promised him a fortune. He remains laser-focused on his career and prestige, even as the stress and chronic sleep deprivation begin to take a toll on his stomach. Meanwhile, Mark is behind the wheel of a patrol car when he is confronted by his first harsh reality. His income rises slightly to $55,000 thanks to working night shifts. However, the job proves to be gritty and dangerous. Every day, Mark witnesses drug addicts, domestic violence, and traffic accidents. His psyche begins to harden. To secure at least some tangible success, Mark takes advantage of a government incentive program and takes out a mortgage on a simple, nondescript house in the suburbs. Year 5. The breaking point. Alex finally earns his medical degree and moves on to a prestigious residency program at a major central hospital. Finally, the money starts rolling in. He is paid $50,000 a year. His schedule becomes hellish, shifts lasting 30 hours straight. To keep from losing his mind from sheer exhaustion, Alex begins spending a fortune on takeout food, gets hooked on energy drinks, and moves into a more expensive apartment located directly across from the hospital. His student debt, including interest, now totals $260,000. Yet, with a medical degree in his pocket, this seems like a mere temporary formality. And what about Mark? Mark transfers to the Criminal Investigation Division and becomes a detective. His base salary is $75,000, but he pays for that money with his personal life. Mark takes every possible overtime shift, working holidays and weekends when his hourly rate doubles. As a result, his girlfriend leaves him, unable to endure his constant absence from home. Severe burnout sets in. Mark dutifully channels all his hard-earned, dirty money into index funds, attempting to drown out his stress through work. His mortgage payments are on track, but Mark returns home only to face empty walls. For both characters, life has turned into a Groundhog Day loop filled with nothing but grueling labor. Year 8. The illusion of triumph. Here it is, the moment of Alex's absolute triumph. He officially becomes a fully qualified surgeon. A major private clinic signs a contract with him for a staggering $180,000 a year. Alex feels like a king. He moves into an upscale condominium, takes out a loan for a luxury crossover SUV, and finally begins living the high life. But this is precisely where the hidden financial vice begins to tighten. By earning $180,000, Alex instantly falls into the highest progressive tax bracket. The government claims nearly half of it. The bank ruthlessly demands that he begin repayments on his student loan, which, over 8 years, has ballooned to astronomical proportions. And the final blow, to even be permitted to stand at the operating table, Alex is required to purchase annual malpractice insurance at his own expense, a policy that costs as much as a decent car. Consequently, after all mandatory deductions, his massive salary is whittled down to nothing more than an average, ordinary income. Alex is forced to grind away for 80 hours a week, living in constant, abject fear of making a mistake and losing his license. In his 8th year, Mark suffers a work-related back injury during a violent arrest. A month spent in rehabilitation forces him to reflect on his future. His net income at the department, including all seniority bonuses, stands at $90,000. He couldn't care less about elite status. He dresses in simple, ordinary clothes. Yet, over those 8 years, the modest investments he had initiated back when he was 19, fueled by the power of compound interest, have transformed into a massive financial avalanche. During this same period, his suburban home has been fully paid off and has appreciated in value due to inflation, becoming a powerful, highly liquid asset. Mark is weary of the human filth he encounters on the job. His cynicism has reached critical levels. But financially, he feels completely secure. Year 10. Alex spent 10 years trading his health and sleep for a white coat. On paper, he is a successful surgeon with a massive income and the respect of his colleagues. He loves his work. He saves lives. But if we subtract the colossal taxes, insurance premiums, and the remainder of his massive student loan debt from his assets, his actual net worth amounts to a mere $40,000. He is completely trapped in the operating room. If he were to decide to take a break tomorrow, to lay down his scalpel, the money would stop flowing immediately. He has become a highly paid slave to his position. Mark chose the unprestigious and dangerous path of a patrol officer. He sacrificed his health working night shifts, developed sleep disorders, and witnessed the worst sides of humanity. Yet, he started with zero debt and put his capital to work for him from day one. Between the market value of his fully paid-off home and his accumulated compound investments, Mark's net worth by his 10th year stands at a staggering $340,000. He owes the bank nothing, is protected by a union, and possesses a government pension that will allow him to retire in 10 years as an absolutely free man. One gained social status, prestige, and a vocation he loved, yet was left with empty pockets and a mountain of debt. The other sacrificed his nerves in demanding service, but built a rock-solid financial foundation and escaped the rat race. The truth of life is that a high income on paper is merely an illusion of wealth. True wealth isn't about how much you earn, but how much you have left after paying off all your debts and taxes. So, which path, with all its pros and cons, would you choose? Let us know in the comments below whose strategy resonates most with you. And if you're looking for the ultimate plan to achieve true financial freedom, hit the subscribe button